start to the proceedings here. I selected an R, starting soon. Yes. Hello and welcome into this Monday's entertainment news. I am Jonathan C. Walsh, here to discuss the latest happenings in the world of movies today. Usually we would dabble with some music and some gaming news, but tonight I'm keeping it short and sweet. Movie news is back for one night only, and I'm here to discuss the Baftas. The Baftas have happened, I believe, last night. I didn't actually watch them myself, but I did wake up to the rather surprising news that you can see there, that All Quiet on the Western Front not only won Best Film at the 2023 Baftas, but it swept the board, if you'd like, the metaphorical board. It won big, it dominated, I believe, 9 wins. It's not really surprising in the sense that it's a wondrous movie. Me and Stephen did a watch along. We both thoroughly enjoyed the movie from start to finish. Really great character driven story based on a novel, an award-winning novel, hugely successful, controversial novel during the Nazi Germany era, just before World War II. 3 movies adapted from that same novel. This one I in particular really enjoyed. This is one of my favourite war movies perhaps of all time, and the reason I'm saying it's a surprise is because it did come up against some rather interesting opposition. I'm just trying my best to switch off the intro so that when I come back from this screen here it doesn't pop up again, because it loves to pop up every time I do this. It comes on, but it's not happening now, because even without a Stream Deck I have stopped it. Rather interesting opposition, man. Some big names in there in movies, some big names in terms of directors, big names in terms of everything really. Obviously Everything Everywhere All at Once, massive release from last year, multiversal concept. Ki Hai Kwan, Stephanie Zhou, Michelle Yeoh, the Daniels, I believe, directed it. Another wondrous movie that we recently watched and reacted to, The Banshees of Inisherin. Just watched that again the other night. Brilliant Mark Madonna movie. Real competition in there, and I think it speaks volumes for just how good of a movie All Quiet on the Western Front is, that it didn't just win 1 or 2 against that competition, but it actually destroyed it. Now I'll get into there was actually another article I was going to discuss regarding this movie. It was a criticism of this movie. Idiots. As you can see here, man, for much of this year's awards conversation, The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once have dominated in the major categories, but at the 2023 Baftas it was All Quiet on the Western Front that cleaned up. Edward Berger's film bagged 7 awards on the night. It was 7, not 9. And including Best Film, building up momentum throughout the show as it won multiple technical categories: cinematography, score, sound. I'm not surprised with the score now, I have to say. I did prefer Everything Everywhere All at Once, but I'm utterly obsessed with the Paul, I think it is. Was it Paul actually? I'll bring the score up. Just the score in general was brilliant. I really warmed to it. But I'm going to bring this up just to hit home, just my favourite part of the score. There was a couple. It was Paul. The Paul sort of movement, whatever you'd call it, I don't know. Composition. Because it's a classical piece, you can't call it a song. That was fantastic. Cat was fantastic. There was a real few shading, I think that's how you say it. Some brilliant musical pieces in there. So I'm not really surprised that that has ended up winning. But as you can see, it's a German language movie. They've been blessed. I'm going to get into the nominations. I'm going to get into the winners, and I'm going to discuss it. I think this is important for this movie moving forward. I think momentum is everything going into the Academy Awards. This movie has gained momentum at the right times, and I think the core message that this movie has been trying to put out to the universe, the world, about anti-war, just the consequences of the war machine, what it means for the little man on the street, what it means for the bureaucracy and the political classes. That is a really important message just now with what's happening in the likes of Ukraine, what's potentially going to be happening in Asia, potentially with China doing some stuff, maybe, in the coming months, because they have been hanging around. I'm actually blanking on the name of the Taiwan, is it? Hanging around there, sniffing for a potential invasion at some point. So We've still got a massive war playing out in the continent of Europe just now, and I think this is an important message to get out there to the general populace. And with this doing so well at the awards, it's an important, powerful message to convey that we don't want war anymore. We've seen what war does, and enough's enough. We should evolve as a race and save the fucking planet, not kill each other. So I think momentum, the message it's portraying, and the fact it's just a great movie, it bodes really well for the Academy Awards for this movie. I think this movie could do some damage. I think it's every bit as good as 1917, if not better, and it did very well at the Academy Awards, if I remember correctly. As you can see here, Best Film, All Quiet on the Western Front did pick up the win. And a category that is just stacked. The Banshees of Inisherin, loved that movie. Martin McDonagh at his absolute best with Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, Barry Keoghan. Brilliant little Irish dark humour, monstrous little movie. I loved it. I laughed my head off at it, was crying at it. Brilliant movie. Elvis, Baz Luhrmann, biopic. Tom Hanks, Austin Butler, fantastic movie. Too long though, really, far too long. Everything Everywhere All at Once, this was the big contender for me in this category. Real toss up between those two, and obviously Kate Blanchett's Planchettes, sort of director, maniacal director, biopic tar. All Quiet on the Western Front's a fitting winner here. I says it was a kind of surprise just because of the competition, but momentum and the brilliance of the movie, it's not out of place. It deserves its nomination, and I think it deserved to win. It was a great movie. Edward Berger again. What's the role of a director in cinema? He is there to make this thing that exists on paper come to life on the silver screen with obviously the help of multiple units and a huge army of people behind the scenes. It's his job to bring the actors together, bring out brilliant performances, motivate these people and make the magic happen. And you look at the cast, man, it's a cast of maybe a half dozen people, really. Shaden, Kat, Paul, I think you had Franz, you had, what was he called? Albert. That's your main primary players. You've got, obviously, Daniel Bruce and a couple of other, the bald-headed, mustachioed guy, sort of Field Marshal German geezer. You get me a cast of 7-8 people, and they work absolute magic on the screen under this guy's guidance. It's a stunning human story, anti-war story, and the performances that he delivers, manages to, tease out of the actors, absolutely sublime. Again, any one of these people could have won. Daniel Scheinert, Daniel Kwan, amazing movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once, so ambitious, so different. No one else is putting hot dog fingers into movies in 2022, 2023. They did it and they made it work. I don't know Park Chan-wook, but I've heard of Decision to Leave. A lot of controversy over his snub at the Oscars. Apparently a fantastic Korean movie. Todd Field, I've heard of A Woman King. But Mark McDonagh really, and the two Daniels and Edward Berger were the ones. And again, I can't really deny Edward Berger. He's won. I think he done an immaculate job in this movie of showing the horrors of war and giving us a different adaptation of the story to previous ones. So hats off to him, he thoroughly deserves it. Austin Butler, this is a controversial one in terms of leading actor, potentially, because obviously Colin Farrell, I think, has won for The Banshees of Inisherin. Brendan Fraser has won at previous awards ceremonies for The Whale. He's the popular sort of nominee. I think a lot of people have got Brendan in their hearts. This sort of resurgence of Fraser. In fact, he's carrying placards at the red carpet urging people to go and watch The Mummy from 1999. I've seen it, Brendan. I loved the movie. I grew up with that movie, and you were fucking great in that movie. So, if nothing else, he doesn't win the Oscar, come what may, and he certainly didn't win the Bafta. At least we have this man back, delivering his humour, his warmth, his brilliance behind and in front of the camera. Brendan's the populist one, but Austin Butler, man, again. Austin Butler, 3 years of his life dedicated to bringing Elvis Presley to life in this movie, this Baz Luhrmann biopic musical. Man still isn't speaking in his own dialect. He can't shake the Elvis voice. Sounds like a southerner. And it was an exquisite performance, and again a movie I felt was just a little bit too long. It was pushing it. You can have 3 hour movies and they fly by. That did not fly by. That was a long fucking movie. But he was outstanding. But for me, it's a three horse race, really. Getting into the Oscars, it could be Colin, it could be Austin, it could be Brendan. Again, they've all really won. Paul Mescal not really got a chance, I don't think. Good Irish lad, playing a Scotsman in Aftersun. Bill Nighy, everyone loves Bill Nighy. It's a toss-up between these three. Austin won the BAFTA. And again, as we go through this, there's going to be ones I disagree with, but I can't really deny Austin he's won, because he was so fucking good. And am I insane? This guy looked like Elvis before he was even cast as Elvis in that movie. He was probably portraying Elvis already in terms of vocal work when I was saying these things. Now he's won Oscar, not an Oscar, he's won a BAFTA. He's winning awards for the performance, so hats off to him. This is the big controversial one for me. Cate Blanchett, she's a fantastic actor, love her. One of the best of her generation, if not arguably the best actor of her generation. By all accounts, Tar's amazing, I have not seen it. But to me, man, Michelle Yeoh, man, and Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's just a once in a sort of decade performance for me, and it deserves the nomination, it deserves the victory. They've went for Cate Blanchett, you understand why, for all the aforementioned reasons. It's a drama biopic. She's playing this slightly dishevelled, unhinged composer. It's a role she will fucking love to get her teeth into and obviously portray and perform on the big screen. But for me, Michelle Yeoh should have won that. I think that's a robbery, truth be told. But that's just my opinion, it's all subjective in the end. And I'm not part of the British Academy, so I didn't get to have a say. And even if I did, more people voted for Kate, so she would have won. Anyway, supporting actor, again a big surprise here. Incidentally, we'll get into supporting actress in a moment. Big surprise here, I mean, it's not a surprise, Barry Keoghan's wondrous. I've been speaking about this guy since he was performing in the likes of Killing of a Sacred Deer, since fucking further back in that, really. Been watching this guy for the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, maybe 10 years. Brilliant actor, really coming into his own now. Had a tragic life, deserves everything that comes his way. Hello folks, hello. I can't even speak Doctor because it's over here and I'm trying to look through a massive ring light. Hello Doctor Mad Studio. Not often I come across a live stream that isn't hosted by an American. Well, I am certainly not American, I am Scots. Scots? What? That doesn't even make sense. I am Scottish. And if you can understand me, well fucking done. Because you are better than about 90% of people on YouTube who seemingly just cannot grasp most of the things coming out of my mouth, which is unfortunate, but if they'd spent a little bit more time, they would get there. I was just looking at a comment before I came on, that's what I'm talking about. What language are these people speaking? Fucking Scottish. Scots, it's a branch of English. It's technically English. If I was speaking in Scots, you would not understand a fucking word. I was saying, I've slowed it down for YouTube. I'm slowing it down and I'm speaking more articulately. When I'm outside, you're not understanding anything. But yeah, Barry Keoghan won. It's not really it is a surprise and it's not a surprise. Ki Hai Kwan is the guy that everyone's really rooting for. They've got their heart and soul behind him. Eddie Redmayne's an Oscar winner. Fucking guys, get enough. Come on. I was just watching Secrets of Dumbledore last night because I'm doing a tier list video after this, a stream after this. I'm not up for it. I'm doing 2 streams in the one night. Right after this is done, I'm going to do a tier list stream ranking Harry Potter movies. I watched Eddie Redmayne. I'm just not having Eddie. I know he's an Oscar winner. I'm not having him. There's just something about him. I don't know what it is. I'm not having the guy. I think he's a fraudster. But he's on the list. Ki Hai Kwan. I mean, it's for me, he was just so good as Wei Wong. Or Wei Wong. I always fuck that name up. Barry Keoghan. I can't deny Barry Keoghan. I just can't. I love Banshees of Inisherin. I love Martin Madonna. I can't deny him. He was outstanding. He's playing this sort of character with potentially learning difficulties. Heartwarming, brilliant character. I think he was abused in the movie by his father. He's almost the humanity, the sanity within all the madness that's going on in that movie. Again, I was just watching it the other night again. It was a brilliant performance. So I can't deny him. But for me, Ki Hai Kwan, I'm just rooting for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I just want it to succeed. And it's not won enough at the BAFTAs. But my second favourite movie, All Quiet on the Western Front, has fucking tore it up, so I'm happy anyway. I know you're Scottish, just saying most live streams I watch are usually hosted by Americans. Yeah, that's because it's film in general and entertainment is just an American sort of centric thing, isn't it? In Western spheres, they dominate it because they've got the biggest population who have got an interest in it, really. Everything, biggest movie market on the planet, potentially. I don't know if that's true. So it stands to reason they're going to dominate the YouTube space, and obviously the way they speak and articulate their words, it's like neutral English. Everyone understands them to some degree, unless you're from the deep south, in which case you're off of Scottish people, because it was sort of, west of Scotland people who were shunned out of Scotland, went over to the United States and became rednecks. Most people can understand the American accent, so I mean, I think that's why. And just they're the ones that are interested in it more than anyone, so that's why they dominate. I did watch a bit of the Baftas last night, but not all of it. I didn't see a single bit, mate. Not 1 second of it. I forgot it was on. And then I seen the winners this morning when I woke up. I seen the winners come in. I seen that Austin Butler was trending. Clicked on it. He'd won. I was slightly surprised, and I thought, there's my show. I'll talk about the Baftas and, of course, the huge success of All Quiet on the Western Front, one of my favourite movies of the last year. And that's why I'm here sitting talking about it just now, breaking down monotonously every single category, which shouldn't be interesting for anybody, but I'm doing it anyway, so fuck it. I've dedicated it. I'm going to move on to other ones later on, the likes of Ant-Man. There's a couple more topics, but I'm starting with this, and this is the meat and bones of the show. As you can see here, supporting actress. The reason I say supporting actress was a surprise is because we've got Kerry Condon. She was great as a sister in The Banshees of Inisherin. Brilliant performance. Again, she's almost the sanity in the movie. All this madness going on. Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, just fucking tit for tat craziness. A friendship destroyed. All the dark humour of a Mark Madonna movie. There in spades. Angela Bassett was fantastic. Watch Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Can't get the reaction out. I've tried 4 times now to upload the first part. It just gets blocked again and again and again. Cannot get this fucking video out. Half of the running time that we recorded gone, and it's still getting blocked. She was brilliant, although not in half the movie, so I was slightly surprised she did get nominated. The reason this is a surprise for me, not the winner, but where is I'm pretty sure, Jamie Lee Curtis get nominated for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Where's Stephanie Joe? Where is she? Where is the what was she called again? Tupaki? Was that the name of the villain in it? She was unbelievable. She played 2 characters in that movie. Not nominated for a BAFTA. What is happening? British Academy, get your shit together. Where is Stephanie Joe? She was amazing in that movie. She deserves a nomination. Carey Mulligan, controversial one again, self-funding her sort of nomination campaign. A lot of people asking for her Oscar nomination to be rescinded. So yeah, she's in there, but she didn't win. It was Kerry Condon again, can't really deny it. The win though. Of that list, I would definitely pick that. Jamie Lee Curtis was great, but Kerry Condon, fair plays. Original screenplay, The Banshees of Inisherin, Mark Madonna. I'm not going to go through this again and again. I love The Banshees of Inisherin. Again, Daniel Shiner. I think you should be thrown a bone to Everything Everywhere All at Once in some of these categories. If you're not going to give a big acting nomination, throw a bone to The Banshees of the Everything Everywhere All at Once in one of the other categories. It's fucking deserving. The screenplay was amazing. To take all of those concepts, all of that wackiness, the colourfulness, all the characters, it should be silly, it should be laughed out of any studio exec's sort of office. To make that actually happen, to have the balls to bring it together and succeed, stick the landing, and have people crying at the end of a movie, that was something special. Again, Mark Madonna though, what can I say? Watch Triple R. Triple R wasn't nominated. I didn't even know that, mate. I was going through the categories. I was hoping to get like songs in Best Foreign Language. I know that All Quiet won the Best Foreign Language, or not in the English language category. And to be honest with that there, and winning so many nominations or so many awards at the BAFTAs, I don't think Triple R stood a chance in that category alongside All Quiet on the Western Front, sadly. These award shows tend to gravitate more to drama movies, and Triple R's a big bombastic, larger than life sort of action multi-genre experience. A brilliant movie, I loved it, but not really what your stuffy older generation who tend to make up this a sizable proportion of these sort of voting bases. Not the kind of movie they'll gravitate to, sadly. Again, in this list, can't complain. The Whale's just died a death. I don't know what's happening with The Whale. It's just fucking gone, man. There's no buzz around this movie anymore. There's no momentum. All Quiet is now on the run. I'm telling you, this movie's going to clean up at the Oscars, man. If it doesn't, Everything Everywhere All at Once will just break through. I think this is going to destroy the Oscars, because it's just winning everything. The Baftas aren't usually a good indicator of the Oscars, to be fair. I think there's a couple other shows that follow closer to what the actual Academy in the States, the way they kind of do things. But the buzz, the momentum's with this movie, man, and I keep saying it, the message, the powerful anti-war message in the midst of a war on continental Europe, it's like the fucking Eurovision on that meets movies. Politics, the message, the actual brilliance of the movie. It's just the stars are aligning for Edward Berger, Leslie Patterson. I heard there was a Scottish person wrote this screenplay. I thought it was Kirsty Cairns Wilson or whatever her name is, but it's Leslie Patterson, a good Scottish person in there. I don't know what it is with Scottish people and their ability to really write powerful and visceral war movies. Kirsty Wilson Cairns with 1917, Leslie Patterson, Ian Stockwell, Edward Berger with this one. It was just a really good script. I really enjoyed their interpretation of the novel, the adaptation. It's a shame the Baftas didn't mention the late Bernard Cribbins. He's a national treasure. I've seen that trending, mate. Yet they should have mentioned him. I don't know why they didn't. They don't miss sort of important figures who have passed away. I don't know what that was about. Marvel movies are getting so boring it puts me to sleep before interval. Well, mate, stick around to the end of the show. I'm about to deconstruct Marvel, or I'm going to try to. Because Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, as I'm about to speak about, has got the joint lowest MCU CinemaScore ever. I'm about to ponder whether Marvel is dead. Is the MCU finished? Should they just fucking kill it and start again? I just don't. Well, I'll get into it. In a moment. I think it may be done. Adapted screenplays, as I says, can't argue with that. Outstanding British film, Banshees of Inisherin. I didn't even realise it was British. Mark McDonagh is born. He was born in London, I believe. Just because it's set in a remote island in Ireland, I thought it was Irish, but it's not. It's British, and it won. Again, out of that list, maybe The Aftersun could have gave it a running. Apparently a brilliant movie. Banshees of Inisherin wins, so can't really deny it. Don't watch documentaries enough, man, even I can't even speak on it, man. I've not got a clue. Didn't watch any of them. Film not in English language, again, it's always going to be All Quiet on the Western Front. Deserves it. I think we're at number 4 now for this movie as we go through this list. Aftersun wins for debut by a British writer. Again, I think it's a Scottish movie with an Irish lead playing a Scotsman. I don't know. I've not seen it. I'm going to get round to it. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, again, doesn't really surprise me. It's not been an amazing year for animated movies. Turning Red, I think that's the big dog one. Puss in Boots, I didn't know this came out. It's not been a standout year for animated film. Guillermo del Toro's a master. I believe this is more stop motion than animated, though. I didn't realise this was actually animated, but hey, he's won, and fair play to him. I think there's been 4 Pinocchio movies or something made in the last 3-4 years, 5 years. He's done something different, and he's won a BAFTA for it, so hats off to him. Again, this one is interesting. I would have thought something like maybe the Batman. Fair play to them nominating the Batman. The Oscars couldn't even do that. Cinematography was phenomenal. But they've given it to James Friend, and I can't disagree. Again, it's a war movie, it's visceral, it's haunting. Some of the shots were stunning. Some of the best shots in this movie were nature shots, just looking at trees. I thought the decision to focus on a small den with foxes in it and little cubs at the start of the movie, showing you the sort of wildlife, the natural landscape, and then you hear the motors going off in the background. Some of the lingering landscape shots with flashes of thunder and mortar in the distance. That was a really interesting creative choice to go with. And I just thought some of the cinematography was stunning. Just the shots of him in no man's land. Some of the close-ups, the lingering shot of Paul at the end. Really well shot movie. I can't deny James Friend. He's won there. and he's won it and he fucking deserves it. Editing, glad they gave Everything Everywhere All at Once something. Because again, this movie was stunning. It was a brilliant movie. And the editing is where a movie is made or broke. I'm going to make something up there, a saying up there. You make or break a movie's success in the editing. And I'm going to take a drink because my voice is starting to fucking go. Marvel movies are getting boring. Yeah, I outgrew the whole superheroes defending the Earth and all that a long time ago. Not since I was a kid. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I've got a shield behind me, so obviously I do like Marvel movies. I've lost my fucking Stream Deck, so I'm going to have to do this manual. As you can see, I've got a Batman poster behind me as well, so I do enjoy a good superhero movie if it's done right. But it's becoming a bit samey these days. And what Marvel really did in terms of the last 5-6 years to set themselves apart, maybe 10 years, is dabbling with subgenres and doing something different within the familiar tropes of comic book movies. They've stopped doing that, or they've tried and it's just not working now. So it's there's too many movies coming out as well, man. It's just too much content, too much TV, too much movies. You're suffocating people with it. Stick to 2 movies, 3 movies a year, 1 or 2 TV shows. Any more than that and you're killing yourself, you're it's fucking self-mutilation, self-harm. You're going to kill it, and they are killing it. And that's why I think Bob Iger and the people over at Disney, and I'll get into this in the next topic, I'll speak about this in the next topic, I'm not going to do it here. Editing, Everything Everywhere All at Once, can't deny it. Sublimely edited, brilliant movie, really enjoyed it. Volker Bertelsmann, I just love the German names that are popping up here, man. I am trying to learn German. I went back to Duolingo last night. It's amazing how much you actually remember. You think you forgot things and it comes back like that. So I'm getting on with the German. I'm going to learn German. I've got a real fondness for Germany. I love the country, man. Love the culture. Love the simplicity but the tastiness of the food. And I love Bayern Munich. So I'm liking the German names that are coming up. Volker Bertelsmann. Again, the score, man. The score, for me, Son Lux, I'm not even going to lie. Son Lux's score with Everything Everywhere All at Once is the best score on this list for me. Personally, that's my personal opinion. It's all subjective. But Volker Bertelsmann, when we did the watch along, anyone that watched along with us will realise that the first 20 minutes I wasn't having it. I wasn't having the sort of, what was it again? It was I wasn't having that. But as the movie developed, we get into the humanity of these guys. The score really came onto its own. It came into its own. It came onto a real strong sort of game. I can't even speak. It came into its own. That's the word I'm looking for. That's the phrase I'm looking for. And getting into the last 15-20 minutes, the stuff in the crater as well with the French soldier. Just brilliant, complex score from Volker. So again, I personally would have gave it to Son Lux. I can't deny Volker. For me, of the movies I've seen, I did like The Banshees of Inisherin as well. Those are probably the 2 best scores. I've not seen Del Toro's Pinocchio. I do like Alexander Desplat, I don't know how you say the name. But those are the 2 outstanding scores. I'd have gave it to that one, fair enough. Your top 3 Bollywood movies you've seen till date? Well, I mean, just off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of Bollywood movies, man. What is categorised as a Bollywood movie? Dangle. Love Dangle. 3 Idiots. Fucking amazing movie. And then I'm trying to think. Gangs of Wasseypur kind of qualifies, doesn't it? Is that 2? It's like 2 parts, but it should really be 1. Probably Gangs of Wasseypur. That's probably my 3. Off the top of my head, just now. I'd need to see a list of movies I've watched, Bollywood movies, but 3 Idiots is probably top. Then Gangs of Wasseypur, then Dangle. I'm a big fan of Amir Khan. I think he's amazing. And just playing 2 different characters completely. In Dangle and 3 Idiots. 3 Idiots is purer than pure. Sort of almost Jesus-like character. And then you go into, obviously, Dangle. He's playing the hard-hitting, hard-lining father. Trying to push his daughters into success, where he failed. In his eyes, he got a silver medal. He wanted his daughters to get a gold medal. And they did. So probably those 3. If I'm being honest. But that may change if there's something else I've seen and I forgot, which I most certainly have. Production design, don't even know what Babylon is. I'd have gave it All Quiet in the Western Front. Fuck it. Costume design, Elvis, I mean, it is what it is, isn't it really? But again, they're throwing Baz Luhrmann in this movie a bone outside of Austin Butler. He's playing Elvis, okay, the costumes were okay, but fucking man, recreated World War One. Look at the carriage work, all the French outfits, the uniforms, the German uniforms. This looked authentic, man. It looked like we were whisked back 100 years. That should have got it again. It should have more ones. Makeup. Man, anyone that's watched this movie, I mean, he played Elvis. What to do? I think they made Tom Hanks fat. I'm trying to remember. Did they make Tom Hanks fat? I don't know if they did. It's been a while. I've only seen this movie once, and it was about fucking 7 months ago. Anyone that's seen this, the little guy that gets blown up with the specs, though what they do in the first 20 minutes of this movie with that little guy who gets killed, the friend, fucking unbelievable, man. Some of the makeup and the hair work, it's just unbelievable in this movie. I think there's a guy that's blind. One guy stabs himself. Shaden, I think it is. Shaden stabs himself in the neck. Makeup and hair, come on, what are we doing here? That should have won again. Batman. What? Batman? Makeup and hair? What, for fucking Penguin? Maybe for Colin Farrell's Penguin. But to be fair, it could probably win for that alone. But yeah, Elvis, okay. Sound, can't deny it. Fucking amazing. Recreated World War One. Sound was great. Stunning. Some of the distant sounds, again, the nature shots. You're looking at mountains and you can hear the mortar 15, 20 miles in the distance. Some of the quietness in this movie, just brilliant. Sound design. They've thrown Avatar a bone, it deserves special effects. Speaking about Avatar the other day, the football, one of the greatest technical movies I've ever seen in the theatres. Story was average. On a technical level, phenomenal. What they did with that movie. The visual effects, the water, everything. The 3D. I says before, James Cameron should be the arbitrator of 3D moving forward. He is 3D. Everyone else touches 3D, it's shit. James Cameron is 3D. Deserves its win. Casting Elvis, okay, fair enough. Austin Butler, I mean, he's the movie. And to be fair, you don't get better casting than that. I was going to go into something here and I've missed it. I'm sure there was a nomination up here. I'm going to get right back to it because I have to get it off my chest. Supporting actor. Albrecht Schoch. I think that's how you say his name. I'm probably destroying it. I think he played Cat in All Quiet on the Western Front. Fucking amazing performance. Has to be said. Brilliant. Loved the character. I was more angered with him dying to that little French farm boy than I was with Paul dying. But the actor who played Paul, and I'm going to bring his name up because I always forget it. Where is he? Felix Camera. If you are nominating Albrecht Schuch, I think that's how you say it, I can't see his name. How in the name of sweet baby Jesus can we not ditch like Daryl McCormick and just put Felix in there? Felix was that movie. He was that movie. We've seen the entire journey was through his eyes. And the performance of this guy, to go from this wide-eyed, youthful figure to what he was at the end, he looked like an old man. He looked like he'd seen hell and back. Just an unbelievable performance. The moment when Cat dies, he's there. He's got nothing left. He's broken. This man's acting with his eyes. He's not even saying a word, and it was just mind-blowing. He's never going to win. But if we're nominating Albrecht, Felix should have been nominated for Best Leading Actor. That's just shocking. You've gave him all those nominations and all those wins to All Quiet on the Western Front, and the man who propelled the story forward doesn't even get nominated. Your fucking director, in his speech, praised Felix. He came out and says if it wasn't for him, this movie would not have any nominations. It wouldn't have won a thing. He didn't get nominated. What is going on, man? And then obviously you get down here, this is just, yeah, rising star Emma Mackay. I think she's the Margot Robbie kind of lookalike. She looks like Margot Robbie. She gets mistaken for Margot Robbie quite a bit. Best rising star, fair enough. I think the likes of Letitia Wright have won this in the past. Again, Darren McCormick's in there. You've got Naomi Ackie. I think she played... What's Naomi Ackie again? Am I blanking? What's her? Rose? Why am I blanking on her name? What's she been in? Let's bring her up briefly before I move on. Was that her from Bond? I know I'm talking shite. Whitney Houston. I went, okay, fair enough. She didn't win though. But yeah, I'm going to move on to the next topic. Next topic's all about Marvel, and I'm slanting this through this sort of headline. I'm going to bring it up. I'm doing everything manual now because my phone has died. Useless bastard that it is. And yeah, Quantumania receives joint lowest MCU cinema score. There's a lot of in there, and that always trips me up for the tongue twisters. I can do Susie shines a shoe on the seashore, but I can't do this when I'm reading shit like that. Got a comment here, watch Tara Zeman Pass, Secret Superstar Lagan, Sarfaros Joe, Jita Wohi Sikander. We're going to be doing a lot of watch-alongs, mate, as the year goes through, believe me, we will be getting into them. And I'm sure we'll look at some on that list. Put them in the comments, and I'm sure we'll keep a list of them. Actual comments of a video, because this will disappear and I will forget about it. If you can pop those in, we'll keep track of them, man, and at some point we'll get round to it. I think the next one we're doing is Farsi TV show when Stephen comes back from his holidays. Stephen is on holiday just now, he's in Tenerife. He was in the chat, I think, momentarily, posting under the MBE account. That wasn't me. I am in sunny Glasgow. There's nothing sunny about Glasgow, so when Stephen comes back, we'll be doing Farsi, and then I think we're going to do a Shah Rukh Khan movie, potentially. But I'm sure we'll get into it. Siri's starting to do my head in now, in this fucking watch. He's going to get bounced off a wall in a moment if he interrupts me again. But as you can see, Quantumania receives joint lowest MCU cinema score. And really where I'm going with this is, the question I'm going to ask is the MCU done? Is it sort of shot its load? Is its relevancy in modern day cinema pop culture finished? As you can see here, I've not seen the movie yet, but this is really concerning. And when you then tally that up with the Rotten Tomato scores, not just the audience and the critics, but this cinema score, it all combines. It's not a good picture for this movie. The common consensus seems to be that Jonathan Majors is sublime as Kang the Conqueror, but ultimately it feels like what the secrets of Grindelwald were, or the crimes of Grindelwald was for the Fantastic Beasts, for the MCU. It's like a sort of filler, bridging movie. They're using Ant-Man to introduce Kang, but there's nothing more going on to this movie. It's really just about Kang coming into the MCU, and it dies a death afterwards. It dies in its arse. And this is an important movie, with Kevin Feige coming out and speaking about this movie, saying it was extremely important, pivotal to Phase 5, I believe, in moving forward. This was kickstarting it off, this multiversal concept, the introduction of your next big bad. This was a hugely important movie, and it's got a cinema score of B. Now, for the uninitiated with cinema scores, you may look at that and think a B, that's quite high, that's decent. That's a good score. It's not a good score, man. I think Black Adam get a B+. I think it was something else which was pretty shite, get a B+. This is the bar we're talking about here. Previous Ant-Man movies, I think, get A, an A+. This get a B. It's a terrible score. And CinemaScore is, in a sense, sort of aggregating the views of the average person coming out of a theatre. Regular people like me and other people that go to a theatre. It's not critics. It's your average cinema goer. They asked them, what would you rank this movie? They gave it a B. This is catastrophic for the MCU in terms of critical response. By all accounts, it's made big numbers in its first week, but it's going to drop off a fucking cliff. Ant-Man has traditionally been the worst performing box office MCU movie in the history of MCU movies. This movie will drop off a cliff. Word of mouth is everything. And if people are saying it's bad, they're not going to go back for repeat watchings. They're not going to recommend it to their friends and family. This movie's going to underperform at the box office. And as a critical sort of artistic entity, for lack of a better word, it seems to be fucking bereft. It's poor. And as you can see, it's kicking off the MCU Phase 5. So I've asked the question, no, I'm not asked the question, I'm asking the question now. Is this the end of the MCU as we know it? Is it done as a cinematic universe? They had a great run, man. 12 years. 11 years, 10 years of that, brilliant. The last couple of years has been just poor. There's been a couple of hits in there. Like Shang-Chi I really enjoyed, but it was a mixed bag. Some people disliked it. Stephen, fellow movie burner, didn't like the movie. Didn't like it. I loved it. Eternals, an atrocious movie by all accounts. I just couldn't even get myself up to watch it. And I've still not watched it. It's on a streaming service. Black Panther Wakanda Forever I quite enjoyed. It was decent. Not quite as good as the first movie for me though. And then off the top of my head you get Spider-Man No Way Home's the best of the last 3-4 years. They've been hit and miss. Truth be told, it's oversaturated. There's just too much. I've got a shield behind me. I fucking love Marvel. I love the MCU. I'm wanting it to succeed. They're oversaturating it, man. There's too much TV content that's below par, that's trying to propagate political stuff that no one is interested in. When you go to a theatre or you sit down to watch something on a streaming service, you're going there for escapism. You want to sit down, be taken away from the ills of the world, from your life, and enjoy entertaining sort of film, TV. You don't want modern day politics being injected into it. Take that the fuck away. It's ruined Star Wars. It's threatening to ruin Marvel. Take it away, man. It's a bad idea. And then on top of that, it's just too much content. And the content's watered down. The CG's watered down. The whole process is watered down. The universe isn't connecting like it did. It's just dying on its fucking arse, man. And it's really bad timing for Marvel because James Gunn has moved over to DC. He's got a creative vision. Matt Reeves is doing brilliant stuff with Batman. DC's getting their shit together. So this couldn't be worse timing for Marvel if they tried. They really need something to inject some life into this universe. And right now, I don't see what's going to do it, man. It's... What's next? The Marvels. Guardians of the Galaxy, it's the end of an era. Half of them are going to die, potentially all of them are going to die. They ain't moving forward and enhancing this universe. We've not even introduced X-Men yet, we've not introduced Fantastic Four. I think we're in trouble. I think Marvel are in big trouble. I think Kevin Feige, Bob Iger have to react and quick. I don't know if it's the writing, I don't know what they're doing, but it's just not working, man. The fans are not liking it, the critics are not liking it. And again, I spoke about this last week. The early reactions coming out of the premiere were praising this movie. They were saying it was Star Wars meets Marvel. Is it the sequel trilogy Star Wars, which was an abomination? Terrible fan fiction, expensive fan fiction movies. Was it that Star Wars? It wasn't the original trilogy. I don't know what they're doing, man. It's dead. They need to inject some life into it. It's dead. And I'm not happy about it. I love Marvel. I want them to succeed. Marvel has not been the same since Captain America and Iron Man left. That's the truth. What we got here, Viola Davis is amazing. Keeps surprising me. Everything. Viola Davis. What was she in again, man? I'm trying to remember what she was in. Again, I've lost the plot here. Yup, they're being too technical. The days of seeing superheroes and enjoying it is gone. Too much going on all the time. It's not just that, mate. They're introducing too much political stuff into it. Identity politics, modern day tribalistic politics are getting introduced into these movies. We don't want that. We want to escape that bollocks. I don't want to go into a theatre and be shoved, have this shit shoved in my mouth. I want to escape all that crap. Leave that at the front door. Take us off into this different world where we can forget about all that shit. They're introducing it into the TV stuff. I'm just no interest, man. I've not watched She-Hulk. I've got no interest in watching She-Hulk. It's done, man. I don't know what they're doing. They need to try and rekindle the energy from 10 years ago. And they've not got Robert Downey Jr. and they've not got Chris Evans, so I don't know how they're going to do it. Benedict Cumberbatch isn't that guy because they've fucking killed his trilogy as well. That second movie was horrific. And Elizabeth Olsen's fucking left. She's done. So they're screwed. What is this? Ant-Man 5 out of 10. First half is bad. You know, that's what blows me away. They did say the first half was chugging along, but then they says it's the reaction, the people that come out of the theatres, they says it was saved by the second half. You go forward a week, the reviews are mixed. You go forward another couple of days, and it's getting panned. This is why I say take everything these fucking critiques say with a pinch of salt. Toss it in a fucking vat somewhere and forget about it. Because they talk shit. Doctor Strange Multiverse, 4 out of 10. That's high, mate. I'd give it a 2. It was dreadful. Just dreadful. Black Panther 2, 6 out of 10. I rated that a bit higher. I think I gave that maybe an 8.5. I did quite like Black Panther. But I'm a fan of Ryan Coogler. And I thought the way he handled the passing of Chadwick Boseman and the sort of post-Boseman T'Challa era in Wakanda, I thought that was perfect. Handled it with the right level of respect. And didn't linger on it. I thought he'd done a good job. And then also you've got your man Namor Thought he was a good villain. Not even a villain. But then, neither was Eric Killmonger. Eternals, 3 out of 10. Not seen it. I heard it was shit. Shang-Chi, 7 out of 10. I enjoy Shang-Chi. Thor Love and Thunder, I forgot about Thor Love and Thunder, and that was a good thing. I'm a Taika Waititi fan. That was an abomination. A god-awful movie. It's just been a really, really poor run for Marvel, and I think this is the sort of cherry on the cake. They have to get their shit together, and fucking quick. By all accounts, Iger has come out and says they will be releasing less content, less straight to sort of streaming service content, so that they realise there's an issue, and they're hopefully going to deal with it. Because they're going to besmirch what came before. This is sadly connected to the Infinity Saga, and they're in danger of ruining it. But I'm going to move on to the last topic of this stream, because I have got another fucking stream to do after this, and I will not have a voice to rank any Harry Potter movies in this tier list video that should have been yesterday. Speaking about bad movies, don't watch The Secrets of Dumbledore if you've not seen it. It's not good. It's not good. It's not as bad as Crimes of Grindelwald, but it's not fucking good. Star Wars, man. Will a new Star Wars movie be announced at Celebration 2023? I have asked that question. Why have I asked that question? Because the chaps over at Empire have dropped this little nugget on their website. New Star Wars movie reportedly being announced at Star Wars Celebration 2023. This is set to take place in London town in April, a couple of months away. And I don't see a direct quote in this article. I don't believe there was ever a direct quote in this article. But needless to say, I think it's a source somewhere says that they are going to announce a new fucking movie at Celebration. Pardon me. Also, Mandalorian Season 3 set to come out, and I'm really looking forward to that. Brilliant TV, really is. Pedro Pascal, Little Grogu, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni working magic, really intelligently picking their directors for episodic stuff. By all accounts, Favreau has took complete creative control of The Mandalorian Season 3 moving forward. Really looking forward to seeing The Mandalorian. Really looking forward to it. That's Star Wars done right. Andor before it was Star Wars done right. That's some of the greatest Star Wars content I've ever seen outside of the original trilogy. Star Wars, when it's under the likes of Favreau, is in a healthy place. When it's done under the likes of Kathleen Kennedy's tutelage at Lucasfilm in terms of movies, it is fucking horrible. An abomination. I've made it clear I never want to see another Star Wars movie for at least a decade. At least a decade. I want nothing to do with them. They need to clean the slate at Lucasfilm. Put someone in who actually understands the mythology, understands the universe, the galaxy, has the creative juices, or hires people with the creative juices to give us something new, something radical, new characters, new planets. Don't keep going back to Tatooine. Get the fuck away from the Skywalker saga. Give us something new and interesting. Build a foundation. And then give us multiple movies spanning out. Do what Lucas did 40 years ago. We're not going to get that with Kathleen Kennedy. And that's why I don't want to see a movie getting announced at Celebration. But by all accounts, there is going to be a movie announced at Celebration. As you can see here, Kathleen Kennedy. I think this was last year. We are moving further beyond the existing sequels as we look to our movie space. The existing sequels are shit, Kathleen. They need buried, retconned out of existence. They are terrible. Nothing happens in those 3 movies. The world has not changed. You just absolutely destroy the legacy of the 3, 6 movies, whatever, if you're including the prequels that came before. I can't go back and watch Return of the Jedi now. I just can't do it. It's fucking ruined. Because of these arsewipes like Kennedy and the people over at Lucasfilm today. They've ruined it. Viola Davis and the King of Women was, I've not seen that yet, man. By all accounts, it is a very, very good movie. Yes, after Harry Potter, everything was poor. Like Lord of the Rings, everything after that was blip. Yeah, I don't mind the first, the Hobbit movies I don't mind, man. They ripped the arse out it. You can't be creating a trilogy with a shorter novel than any of the Lord of the Rings individual novels. It's a kid's novel and you've made a trilogy out of it. You ripped the living arse out of it, he really did, Peter, with that one. Now, I'm somebody that enjoyed his adaptation of The Lord of the Rings. I'm a huge Tolkien fan. I liked the fact they got rid of Tom Bombadil and all that bollocks. It slowed it down. He made it a really taut, fascinating watch over those 3 movies. I didn't mind the Hobbit movies, but he veered off the book too much and it ripped the arse out. It was too long. But I still enjoyed the movies. The Fantastic Beasts movie, I'll get into that in the next stream, but needless to say, nowhere near the Harry Potter movies. Nowhere fucking near, man. J.K. Rowling's lost the plot. She really has. Her writing ability was always up for questioning. She's plagiarised so many popular sort of series that came before. Took the best bits out, like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, fucking Chronicles of Narnia. She took all these sort of good bits out and made her own novel, franchise, series, whatever. What's came after that has been nothing short of an abomination. She can't write. Her books are shit. Totally unmemorable. No one reads them. She's living off of the Harry Potter novels. And she's involved directly in the Fantastic Beasts sort of screenwriting, so it's not really a surprise that the movies are flopping all over the fucking place. Because she's just not a good writer, plain and simple. How's The Fabelmans? I've not seen it yet, mate. Spielberg, not seen it yet. I didn't even know that movie existed until about 2.5 months ago. I've not seen it yet, by all accounts. A sort of loosely adapted biopic of Spielberg himself, I think. I think that's what it is. It's loosely based on his life. And he's done like a McCartney from the Beatles, Paul McCartney. And obviously speaking about his own experiences, but he's put some other person in his shoes, some made up character. That's what Paul McCartney always did. And it used to wind up John Lennon and George Harrison. They couldn't understand what the fuck he was singing about. That's what Stephen's done with that. Spielberg, I'm clearly friends with Stephen, you know. Don't in first name terms. But yeah, man, Star Wars. I don't want to see it, man. I don't want to see another Star Wars movie. I've no interest in watching another 2-bit second-rate Star Wars movie that continues to destroy the sort of aura surrounding that incredible IP franchise. It was magical, Star Wars. When I was growing up, it was special. You'd see toys in the store and you would think, wow. I obsessed over little Han and Luke stormtroopers, action men when I was a little guy for months on end. They had an aura about them. There was something about the brand, it was just special. Kind of ruined with the over merchandising of the prequel trilogy. George himself was killing it. And then the sequel trilogy, just fucking dreadful, man. They've killed the brand, stone dead. The spin-off movies have been hit and miss. Rogue One's probably the best of the lot. Very good movie. The rest have been atrocious. I don't want to see another Star Wars movie from Disney, period. But if they are going to do one, I don't want it getting announced this year. I want it getting announced in 5-6 years. And it having a development cycle for at least 2-3 years. So it's at least 10 years away, 9 years away. Stick to TV. That's where Star Wars succeeds. When it's doing great TV content. The Mandalorian, Obi-Wan in bits. Andor. That's where Star Wars is succeeding. Not short form, long form sort of TV content, high calibre TV content. With the likes of Diego Luna, Pedro Pascal, Ewan McGregor, guys like that, A-list actors coming in and making it happen. But look, man, I'm going to round this up. I've got another stream to do. I am fucking 36 minutes over what I says I was going to do. I'm supposed to be talking about Harry Potter just now, ranking Harry Potter movies, so I'm going to take a little 5-10 minute break, and then I'm going to come right back on and rank Harry Potter movies, all the Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts movies in a little tier list video. And I watched The Secrets of Dumbledore last night, especially for it was supposed to be done last night. But needless to say, I decided to watch that movie, so I knew I could speak about all the movies. I'd seen them all, because I hadn't seen it up until that point. It was a mistake, because it was an utterly boring fucking movie with nothing really happening, but at least now I can rank it. So I'm going to do that in about 10 minutes. I'm going to round the show up. What is your thoughts on the Baftas, on All Quiet on the Western Front, cleaning the slate, sweeping everything aside, winning 7 awards at the Baftas? I think Banshees of Inisherin was next with 4 or 5. What's your thoughts on the Baftas, the winners? Austin Butler winning over Brendan Fraser. Some interesting choices in there, some not so surprising interesting winners in there. What's your thoughts on Ant-Man and the Wasp getting the second lowest, the joint lowest cinema score of any MCU movie, hit in Eternals? The Strange Bedfellows sharing that score. Do you think the MCU's done as a franchise? You think it's fucking dead in the water? There's too many misses and not enough hits now. Everything used to be a hit. I think it's dead. I think you need to do something radical. And they're set in their ways now, so I don't know how they're going to do that. Share your thoughts on that down below. Finally, what do you make about Star Wars? Should they announce a Star Wars movie at Celebration 2023, couple of months down the road? Or should they do what I suggest and leave it at least 6, 7, 8 years before they even contemplate another Star Wars movie? Share your thoughts down below about that. Anything you feel compelled to share, you can go down below in the comments section. You can also like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon on YouTube to get notifications straight to your eyeballs. Do the same thing over on Twitch. Notifications button, follow button over there. All that's left to say is I am done until the next time. But bye, I will answer those comments just now. I was getting through my spiel, my sort of outro spiel. And once I get into it, I daren't destroy the rhythm. And I will be fucking gone. The best things that I grew up watching some of the best directors making magical movies, 80s, 90s, 20s, but now they try to take everything from everywhere. They've lost any originality. Legendary, Apex, they've not got a clue. Everything's getting remade. The original things are getting shunned. No one wants to watch them. I don't know what they're going to do, man. I watch Indian movies and they've got more originality and they're pinky than most of these Hollywood movies have got. And like a fucking 3,000 team of whatever cast crew. All remake, prequel, sequel, biography is getting too much. Netflix spoiled us and makes everything uninteresting. I completely agree, mate. But look, man, I'm going to disappear. Thank you for watching, thank you for the comments.